What did we do today, Brain? My healthy supper. Broccoli, and I love broccoli. Pepsi, I like Pepsi a lot. And this, I made mashed potatoes, put some cheese and spices in it, put enough flour in it to make little logs, and then fried them. Those were potatoes. And this is chicken that I chopped up and I put in my food processor and made like chicken mince out of it. And into that I put a little bit of flour and corn flour, which I guess is like cornmeal mush. Anything else? Not really. I made it into a paste. I put them both, well, not these, but I put this in a plastic bag and cut the corner off and squeezed out blobs of it. Chicken poops. Potato poops. Get close to your computer screen. Take a big smell. You don't smell any stink because I took a shower today. Yeah, I marked it on the calendar. My financials are still next to nothing. I'm waiting for money to clear. We'll see. I don't really need anything but just a few groceries. Cat litter, as always. Well, I don't need it yet. There's still one container of it. But I like to be a little ahead of the game in case things aren't right, either not feeling well or situations aren't right or something. Yeah, I hand washed underwear. Lavanda let's see, what is the underwear? Mutande. Io lavo il mio mutande. And it's hanging up on a rack in the bathroom. And like jeans and sheets and towels and bigger things I'm going to take to the laundromat once my money is in the bank. Yeah, I know I could ask Ryan and Ashley, but I really don't like having to ask them for stuff if I don't need to. We'll see. I made some thumbprint cookies minus the nuts. Basically it's flour and sugar and a couple other things. You make the dough, make little balls out of it. Oh, an egg yolk. The white you save for when it's dough. You make little balls of it, dip it in the egg white, roll it in pecans or nuts or something, put it on the cookie sheet, put your thumb in it, make a dent. A dent? A dimple? A dent. A dent! And you bake them for about 10 minutes and cool them. And in that dent you can put jam or icing or frosting or something. Oh, they don't last long at all. Not at all. Big glass of milk, if you like milk, or big cup of coffee or tea. I can easily put away 18 cookies. They might be gone by tonight. It only made like 18. The number of ounces and cups and stuff of the recipe that I made. But it's gonna be so good. I am feeling a lot better. That I showered, I changed the sheets, and I spritzed good smelly stuff around, and did a little bit of thinking and a little bit of planning, and hopefully tomorrow, since I'll have a joke for tomorrow, and I put it up at midnight, usually, that tomorrow I can dedicate time doing other stuff that I've been meaning to do, like the meeting of my late boyfriend. And I was so wanting to play the organ today, the keyboard. I almost sat down and did it. I thought Ashley was home today, so I was trying to be quiet. I have headphones that I can listen to, and that's one of the big reason why when we moved and everything from the divorce household to where we were living in Florissant, that I got a keyboard is because I didn't know where we were going to end up, and I don't want to bother people, so I can plug the headphones in and play and practice, because practicing is very monotonous, very tedious, same thing over and over and over, but you have to do it to give your fingers muscle memory. Just like someone I know that is learning guitar. And they're doing the exercises. Do, 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 do. You have to. You have to do it so that you practice and know that muscle memory. My dad played oboe, and a lot of times with the what you had to do, you had to do these fingers and then these fingers and back and forth. Dad could do it really fast. And he also knew semaphore. He was in the Army Signal Corps. So when we were little kids, he'd stand and he'd yell out a letter. And he'd not only say it a letter, but he'd say it the way, like Echo, Yankee, Golf, Romeo, that way. The way an Army person would say so on the radio. And we would do our exercises like that. My dad was great. I wish he were here. I could ask him some bunch of questions, grown-up type questions, like what do you do in this case, or how do you feel about that, or look at this, and that didn't sound right. There's so many plants around here in this neck of the woods that are so unique, and I've never seen anything like it. My father would love different kinds of plants. And I know you're not supposed to, but wherever we would go on vacation, if he found something really interesting, he'd find a seed pod and he'd put it in his pocket and bring it home. And he'd look at the various plant life. He'd really like it around here. There's some really cool and bizarre looking plants that grow in the high desert. Some I've seen, some I've never seen before. I'll have to film some of them for a future vlog so that people that have never seen these weird prehistoric looking things can see them. Anyway, kitty cat's settling in over here. When it comes down to time for me to go to bed, he usually goes in the other room and sleeps on the couch because I guess I thrash about. Sleeping's not been... I'm tired and sometimes I'll fall asleep sitting up or while I'm trying to put a video together. But, yeah, it's like I'm back to the I'm afraid to go to sleep bit. Whether it's a bad dream or I'm working my ass off in my dream, which happens a lot. It's like crap you want to leave behind or crap you want to work out so that you can sleep peacefully. Nah. I want to go to the laundromat, get the big stuff done, get it all done at one time without having to ask anybody, and within an hour and a half I'll have all of it done. Instead of having to, impede on my kids. Yep. While I was cooking, I had the television on and watching Antiques Roadshow. And making snide comments, like, they said, are you able to sell this if you wanted to? And she said, well, it belonged to my husband's uncle's nephew's cousin's wife's father's son, which ended up being the husband. I'm like, that's god ugly, sell it. You have enough for a car. Yeah. Listening to that, I had the window open and the fan on to get the fried smell out of here. Because no one wants to smell other people's fried food stuff. What if you're not in the mood to smell it? I don't ever make fish because that's something that I rather buy at a fish fry or, personally, Arthur Treacher's fish, which no longer exists, but I used to like Arthur Treacher's fish and chips. Fish are stinky. Once in a while I'll make tuna burgers. But they're not as bad as frying other stuff. Because they're only fried in a pan, not in a pot. 6:30 p.m. it's dark. In another, a week or something? Really soon we have the time going forward. Not everyone changes the clocks back and forth. Where Scott lives in Saskatchewan, in Saskatoon, they do not. Their clock stays the same all year. So, instead of 2 hours behind, I'll be 1 hour behind him. And I'm still going to be, yeah, well, the rest of this country, I'll still be 3 hours behind David. Or my cousin Sandy in Philadelphia. Or Deb in Vermont, Massachusetts. Somewhere on the East Coast. Somewhere where it's quaint. All those places, those little towns are so quaint over there. If you are looking for a staycation somewhere in the United States and you want to see the East Coast, there's some really cool places. I've been there for years and years and years. Longer than the country's been a country. Little towns, some of them. Little villages. And what else is there to say? Not a whole lot. When the check goes through, I've got some bills to pay, then I'll see what I have left and try to budget it out. I have to work up a budget book. Can't find the one I used to have, but I don't have all those things I used to have to pay. So I'm just going to start all over fresh. Wind up my mouth so it works. Get the oil can. Well, in this case it's Pepsi can. I had some ideas watching the Antiques Roadshow of various scrupulous, dishonest auction people, what they could tell the people that brought their goods in. Which also leads me to Esmeralda Gretchner, your cultural anthropologist, and the antique sideshow, which I need to make. I need to get back into my characters and do just various ones. Maybe one will really stick. Not sticky, but stick. Oh, I'd better end here. Yeah. Well, tomorrow's Whoop Whoop Wednesday, and I will have a joke for you. Upward and onward.